Okay, so we are live with Trevor Dickinson and Matthew Lehman as soon as he gets back here. What I wanted to do was to get you guys on the side here. So let's step back a little bit. So there's a light pot right here. So let's make sure the board goes here. So you stand two steps back. There we go. So yeah. So I wanted to do an up close and personal with the Cyrus board, and so we are recording this for streaming. This microphone, that microphone is for Robert's side of the house, and this microphone is for my side of the house. So I'm gonna pull this over here so that I can talk into it. You can talk into it. Hopefully, people can hear us clearly. So what I have in my hands here is the Cyrus. So why don't you give us a quick few-minute overview of what the Cyrus is and why you built it.
Okay. Cyrus is, of course, the new. Okay, is the new Amiga OS 4.
Just be glad we're not connecting those other parts of your body.
What you're holding in your hand is actually the Cyrus Revision 1 board.
Okay.
This was the first prototype board, and our original concept was to have a smaller board. Which could support multiple Freescale P3, P5, and that's not there, CPUs.
Okay.
Now this was actually produced last year. In fact, I brought this to AmiWest last year and secretly showed a few people, and it was just hot off the press from Cyrus.
I have to admit, I was one of them. Thank you.
Okay.
I appreciate that.
So when people were saying, "Oh, nothing's happening," of course, behind the scenes we knew things were happening. Having said that. As always, these things take a lot longer than you expect, and because this board was supposed to support three Freescale CPUs, it needed to have certain lines in place. An error was made, and there we are. We have an interposer board in to try and correct that error, just for the prototypes. So for the prototypes, they were working on that. And as you see, good old Cyrus with the name, our manufacturers there. Adam Barnes' names will be there, plus the other developers, James Felix probably, some others. And if you turn it around, in typical, you can't really see it, but that says breezing.
In the Amiga tradition, we have a B-52 song. Let's see, the 500 was Rock Lobster? And the 1200?
Was it Channel Z?
Channel Z, yes, that's what those are, is B-52 songs.
Let's Keep This Party Going, of course, was on the Nemo motherboard.
Exactly.
And even the new Prisma Megamix board, Megamix, is a B-52.
Okay.
So we're trying to keep the tradition going.
So let's just do a quick tour of the board here. Is this a good view for you on the?
Picking up some glare. Right. Oh, slide it this way.
Okay.
There you go.
Well,
I'll hold it and you can point.
Bearing in mind this is revision 1.
Okay.
Revision 2 has a lot more I/O in it. So what we've got here obviously is twin DDR3 RAM slots, and so it will support obviously 8 gig cards. So there's 16 gig, and in theory it could go higher because it's true 64-bit. So we've got DDR3 RAM. It's got our Xena, our XMOS chip, our Xena chip, and of course it's got a Zorro slot in line with it. Obviously PCIe times 16 slot, PCIe
Video cards.
for the video card, for our Radeon HD cards, a regular PCI slot. But of course with the Cyrus Plus board, Cyrus Plus, you've got another PCIe, more PCIe expresses and all the other things there. This one's showing an SD card, but the Cyrus Plus has a micro SD card in a different place, and that's where the firmware will be stored, obviously. If you look at the top there, obviously we've got 6 external USB 2, 6 external USB 2, and 2 internal USB 2.
And these are serial ports?
Dual serial ports, but we've taken that away on the Cyrus Plus board. There's only a single serial port.
Okay.
what else have we got in here that we can really point to?
So I see that we have dual SATA
Yes, dual SATA, yeah.
at the bottom there. I notice we have the clock button up here.
Yep.
Any other interesting hardware features?
I'm just trying to look at them, think of it. Not on this board, really. I mean, there's no South Bridge.
Okay.
So it's
SoC.
this does it all. On this board, though, maybe we shouldn't have done it. Maybe we should have done it. The audio is PCI. We did that deliberately because we wanted to have something up and running very quickly. But the Ethernet is from the CPU.
So my understanding is a lot of the modern video cards actually have audio capability built into them.
They do, actually.
Is that supported today? I'm not sure.
I'm not actually. I was going to say yes because I know that. Under Linux it is yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's a driver question.
The driver question.
So that would be another way of users getting a sound card is by using a high-end video card that has sound built in.
Yes, because a number of my I've tested about 15 Radeon HD cards in my X1000, and under some of the Linux distributions, you do see this audio output on the sound card. Yeah.
So what form factor is this board right now?
Well, this one I was going to say micro ATX.
I think it's a little big for micro.
You think it's a bit bigger than micro? I don't know. It's bigger.
It's bigger than the SAM.
It's bigger than the SAM. Yes.
So it's not a mini ITX or a micro
It's a special.
ITX.
It's a special.
It's an ATX form factor.
Yeah,
But it's not full ATX.
no, it's not. No, because the full ATX brings it out to here.
So this is this the first release board? You mentioned the other one with additional. They're coming out at the same time. What's the?
No.
What will I be able to buy in a few months?
No, what we're going to do is it all comes down to cost. It's much, believe it or not, it's much cheaper to have one board for everything. One board.
Yes.
So it's all going to be the same size.
So you're gonna make a larger ATX board with the additional slots.
Yep.
And when I purchase this from the various dealers, what will I be buying? What are my options?
Well, it's up to the dealer, of course. One stick of RAM, 2 sticks of RAM, different sizes, different Radeon HD cards, different audio cards.
So I heard that you're also going to be selling it board only as
Yes,
well
we
as
are.
in kit.
We are.
So for those like people who want to save a little money on the overall package, maybe have some existing cases that they might want to put this board into, they'll be able to buy just the board.
Exactly.
And that'll include an OS4 license.
You must have an OS4 license. Yeah.
Right. So that's a board plus license, like today with the SAM system.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Personally, I prefer to supply the whole system, but I realise the need to shipping costs.
Well, I
the size
mean,
of boxes.
So for users who are less interested in hardware tinkering and tinkering the operating system, selling complete board is a lot better. Working power supplies, you're going to get the audio card, you're going to get the video, you're also going to get working memory.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Some, and of course, less chance for finger trouble.
Exactly. Yeah,
'Cause
that does happen when you're playing with computers. They do bite.
Yeah, they do. And we've all had the problem from time to time. We've all made the mistake.
So, time frame. Are we going to have these for sale at next AmiWest?
Oh yeah. Yes, hey, if we haven't, there's a real problem.
Summer. I mean, how close do you want to get there?
Beta test program. The long lead time. We've actually prepaying for all the long lead time items in the build. So CPU 16 weeks on the CPU. 10-year availability, but 16 weeks delivery. and we're getting good pricing from Cyrus on the CPU. In fact, we've negotiated good pricing from Freescale.
Okay.
They gave us the 1,000 off pricing.
Nice.
Which is good.
1,000 off the total order. Yeah. Well, we appreciate
So
it.
I'm thinking, the plan is that the beta test systems delivery beginning of the year. I mean,
like January.
Matthew says first quarter, but it's supposed to be the beginning of the year. Yeah.
And then how long do you anticipate the beta test program running for?
Well, last time with Nemo, effectively it ran for about 6 months. But by the time the commercial systems came out, customers got a really stable system.
Yeah.
In fact, the beta test has got a pretty stable system, to be honest.
Right.
Because of other delays in the whole program.
So let me ask it a different way. Obviously, the main target for the board is OS4. Linux is going to work.
Yeah. Yep.
So the question becomes, are you confident that your partners in Hyperion will be able to meet your delivery dates so that come out about the same time?
They have new owners. Their new owners look at bottom lines.
Okay.
So they have to meet their targets.
Who has new owners?
Oh, Hyperion. Sorry, I think it's Varus.
No. Verisys you announced.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm saying the Hyperius partners who are writing the operating system, because it's a chicken and the egg. You need the board first, then they go write it. Do you anticipate them coming roughly together and meeting a launch target?
Yeah, well, I would think the kernel's ported.
Yeah.
So that's the really interesting one. And then of course it's all the drivers.
Yeah.
So the drivers will come as the drivers come.
So it sounded like from your perspective, the most risky driver is that Ethernet one, because that's a new chip that's in here.
Yeah.
But everything else should be, maybe the USB is a little bit tougher, but
with again we go back to the Nemo. You've got a larger size board. You can throw in a PCI network card and a PCI sound card.
so that you can bypass that. I mean, everyone wants it all integrated. I mean, that's the goal.
I want to integrate it.
Yes.
So if you've got that, at least we've got something up and running.
So you mentioned a number of different CPU choices. Is the plan to launch with a choice here, or is it going to launch with one and then a
In the
follow-on?
first batch, we've ordered 500. We've actually prepaid for 500.
Okay.
But we've 400. We've actually fixed as 50/20s.
So the last 100 is up in the air. You're going to see what
Last 100
happens.
we can
Make
see
them faster
what-
or slower depending. Okay.
I mean, the 50/40 is not really available in the wild.
Gotcha. So you're getting ready for
Not
it.
for commercially in the wild. It's
see.
available for developers.
Okay.
So we want that as an option. But the 3041 is available, and that board's being brought up now by Varusys.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I'll take one of those. But okay, thank you very much. I think this is a good walkthrough.
Sorry about my voice.
Yeah,
Somebody led me astray last night.
that's what she said.
That's what she said. Yeah.
Okay, so that was Trevor Dickinson talking about the Cyrus board. I'm going to go back and press the stop button on the record. Thank you for tuning in. We'll get this up to YouTube sometime today or tomorrow.